Columbia University has become the epicenter of disagreement over the Israel-Hamas war. More after this. Hello everyone and welcome back to AFG's Point of View, where I give you my analysis of the most popular topics in the world today. Today's video we have the disagreement between the Jews and the Palestinians over the Hamas war at Columbia University. Before I dive into the details of the video, if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to AFG's Point of View. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well to bring more awesome, loving, and wonderful people over, similar to yourself. I'm on number of subscribers. Thanks for coming back. I'm diving in. Americans disagree vehemently about the Israel-Hamas war. The issue has divided friends and strained families, become a third rail in the workplace, and pose a serious political problem for President Joe Biden. Over the past week, all that rolling discord seems to have focused with laser-like precision on one place: Columbia University in New York City. The Ivy League school's lush campus on the Upper West Side of Manhattan is known for many things. It's where the popular TV show Gossip Girl was often filmed. It's where Barack Obama finished his bachelor degree and Hillary Clinton is now a professor. It even has a Donald Trump connection. Trump once called the school's university former president a moron for refusing to buy land from him for the new campus. And when the law enforcement arrested more than 100 protesters on campus last week, a day after the university's president testified in Washington about handling of a spike of antisemitism, it recalled an era of foment in the late 60s that put the school on the national map. The tumult on the New York City campus is more than a political spectacle, though. It has become a microcosm of the intractable challenges facing higher education in the 21st century, from managing political interference to balancing freedom of speech with a need to keep students and staff safe. I agree. Now, it's not a shock Columbia has become a focal point for campus strife. The school is based on the largest U.S. city with the second biggest Jewish population. Take a note of that. In the world after Tel Aviv. About a fifth of the country's Muslim population is in New York City as well. The campus is easily accessible and open. A vestige of the political upheaval caused by students during the Vietnam War. Now keep in mind those two things I just said about New York being the second biggest Jewish population and about the fifth of the country's Muslim population in New York City as well. These are the two that's actually fighting each other in their native countries, and they've had things happen, like it was a deadly attack on October the 7th by Hamas. All right. So let me back up and give you a little backstory on this and kind of like, bring you up to speed and, we'll get you on your way. Now on Wednesday, Shafiq traveled to Washington to address the Republicans who had called her to a hearing about anti-Semitism on Columbia's campus. Manoush Shafiq. She was, past tense, the school's president, and she was newly appointed and all that, and all this started coming out. So she was appointed to Washington to address the Republicans about this. Now, flanked by other administrators, she fended off a salvo of tough questions from Republicans and Democrats alike. many of whom expressed dismay about reports that Jewish students have felt unsafe since Hamas' deadly attack on Israel, October 7th. Now, this is very well possible because, New York is a big melting pot. They have a lot of different cultures that's in New York, you know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't behoove, someone to, make a pit stop. I mean, if you've seen Columbia's campus, it's fairly wide open. It's it's an Ivy League school. It's open. You know what I'm saying? It's not really gated or anything like that where you can't come in and you feel safe. Clearly, it's not, because they had protesters over there all weekend. So now the students that's there are not feeling safe, and that's not the place to not feel safe, because you're at school. You know what I mean? You want to concentrate on your scholastics, get your education locked in, move on with your life, and do what you need to do. Hopefully, land a great job and move forward. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have family members, like a family member that's actually in Colombia right now, and I'm having, I'm praying that, everything's well with her, that she's safe and nothing, happens to her. And I feel like she'll be fine. And I'm praying also for the Jewish students as well, because I want everyone to be safe. I don't want any bloodshed on the school campus. You want to be able to go to school, get your education, feel confident, and know that, okay, I can walk out my doors and not have to worry about being attacked, by a group of people that doesn't agree with, me or how I feel, my views, whatever vantage point that I may, express. I don't want them to attack me, in any shape, way, form, or fashion. So, all right, so let's kind of move on. Shafiq managed to dodge the mistakes of her peers, but drew the ire of many Columbia faculty with her responses to questions from some politicians about individual professors who lawmakers singled out. People feel extraordinarily betrayed by her lack of following the university's protocol. And that was coming from an English professor, Patricia Daly. All right. She caved already to the ways which our discourse is framed. She actually kind of like went out of bounds. She said a few things over the weekend, her feelings and all that, kind of posted everything online, everything. Things like that, especially when you're a high profile teacher, student, high profile executive, whatever the case may be, you got a lot more light on you than the average person, you know what I'm saying? So that light that shined on her was kind of like, warranted, because she shouldn't have said what she said, and, it was against school's protocol, school's policy. So they offed her. Now, things only got more hectic from there. While the cameras were trained on Shafiq in Washington, students set up camps on lawns at the center of the campus, demanding the university sever all ties to Israel. Now, they came in there, screaming and hollering, protesting, all that kind of stuff. Now, can you imagine if you the ops, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my way of, saying it, but the opposition, you know what I'm saying? Like, to those they want you to, you a Jewish kid, and you're saying, well, sever ties with Israel, you know what I'm saying? We sick of it, get rid of it. And you're like, nah, I can't. Because there's some people, it's a big melting pot, and there's some people that's there. So if you say, okay, we're going to sever ties with them, now you're offending a whole another group of people, you know what I'm saying? So now you got a whole other group of people that's like, yo, you rolling with them? Okay, well, I can't. So you're not going to win either way, you know what I'm saying? So you should have never, planted your flag on that particular side of the fence. You should have just said, hey, listen, I have no say in this. We want to stay out of it. We want to just send our prayers to those involved, you know what I'm saying? We'll do everything we can do to support those groups that need help, you know what I'm saying? Something like to that fashion, you know what I'm saying? So that way you would have just stayed out of it, and it would have been way better. But she chose to go the way that she went and just caused a whole bunch of, mayhem. Now, tempers flared on the edges of the particularly closed campus as rallies continued over the weekend. Now, by Monday, the White House had to jump into the fray, condemning reports of antisemitism rhetoric around the campus. A university rabbi warned Jewish students to stay home for their safety. Through the campus, Hallel chapter disagreed with that recommendation. All classes were held online. So now they couldn't even go out to the respective classes. They had to have class online because of the safety issues that they was worried about. By then, students were in a growing number of universities across the country, including Harvard, Yale, and the University of University of California, Berkeley, were taking their cues from Columbia, launching similar protests in solidarity. They wanted to stand with their, their folks and make sure that that similar situation didn't happen on their particular campus, and kind of keep the peace. They actually called the cops. They had over 100 people. They got arrested. It wasn't really violent or anything like that. It was no violence or anything. It was just, a lot of screaming and hollering. People was, just upset, planting their flag where they at, and they saying they want to end the war and all that kind of stuff, which I agree, you should end the war. You know what I mean? No one should be feeling offended by any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I kind of feel like, in a way, those people were trying to fight a war over here in the United States. And the war is going on over there. Now, you don't feel safe going over there. You feel safer over here. You know what I'm saying? You can plant your flag and feel the way you want to feel. But as far as like set up camp, camps and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I know people say what they're going to say. But I'm looking at it as me being a black man. What if someone says something about a black person, right? So now we all just going to set up camp on every single spot where they saying some stuff. You outnumber us. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just plant our flag, here and then decide, across here they're saying this, now they're saying this, now we all go on different places. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't, every battle is not meant to be fought. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand you gotta stay in your ground, do what you gotta do. If it's impeding your rights and everything that you're doing, then okay, yes, stay in your ground, do what you gotta do. But if it's not impeding anything that you're doing and that you can move forward and still continue to, learn and grow and do what you need to do, even though you have some people that might be pig-headed and thinking the way they want to think, then sometimes you got to overlook that, and keep going, because you can't always fight every single battle. If that's the case, you're going to burn out, you're going to be so tired, and you might go out there and hurt yourself and do more harm to yourself than you do good. So I'm just hoping and praying that this can't go away, although I don't think it is. I think it's going to be a lot of backlash and, some sort of turmoil for that, for the campus over in Columbia University. As far as the students are concerned, I'm praying, say my little prayers for the students, and hopefully everything is, in a peaceful fashion. Everything is cool. No one gets, hurt. No wars. No fights break out or anything like that. We definitely don't need that. It's it's a higher education facility, and you're there to learn. Let's just learn. Let's just move on. Let's just grow and do what we got to do, and everything will be peaceful. So with that being said, if you like what you've heard, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button as well. Bring more awesome, loving, and wonderful people over. Similar to yourself. I'm my normal subscribers. Thanks for coming back. On my new subscribers, welcome. Welcome to AG's Point of View. Do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. It'll help the channel grow. It'll push this content out to several people that need to hear it, that need to see it. And hopefully, you can push it out to someone that's a friend of yours, a colleague of yours. They may watch this video and it may help them understand the whole situation that was going on in Colombia. They may see it on the news or CNN. Hey, listen, we got CNN right here. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need CNN. You can just come over here, get your daily dose of what you need, and we're going to keep it moving and get you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I love every single one of y'all. And you thought you was going to get away without tagging everything else? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. We all over the internet. Share, like, comment, all the above. Click the notification bell to let you know when I drop this video. If you're watching this video and you didn't get the notification, do me a huge, huge favor. Check to make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people. For what reason? I have no clue. But just make sure you continue to be subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell, and you'll be in the loop for every single video that AG's drops. So with that being said, I love every single one of y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.